So the other day for one of my college classes, I was watching the movie Les Miserables, which can just be perceived as a good movie musical. But as I was watching it, I noticed a lot of the key points of the story really reflected the gospel, which I thought was pretty interesting. So the main character, Jean Valjean, is a criminal. He's just been released from jail, and he goes to find work. No one will give him work because he's a criminal. He goes to buy food. He has money. He goes to buy food. No one will give him food because he's a criminal. And then he goes to find a place to sleep, and no one will give him a place to sleep because he's a criminal. So he's sleeping on the streets in the bitter cold of night. And the bishop from the church that he's in the town he's staying in walks out of the church and says, "What are you doing outside? Come inside." And he brings him inside the church, and he feeds him, and he gives him a place to stay. And Jean Valjean is overwhelmed by the kindness of the bishop. But he doesn't understand. He thinks like, oh, well, the only way I can live now is if I'm a criminal. No, there's no way for me to be an honest man anymore. I can't work for anyone. No one will give me work. So in the dead of night, he goes and he steals all the silver from the church, all the silverware and, all the plates and everything. And he runs. And then by the next morning, he's dragged in front of the bishop, and two soldiers say, "We found this man. He has all the silver from the church." And the bishop goes, "No, that's his silver. That's his now." And they're very confused, but the bishop says, "You can let him go. It's fine. That's his silver." So the bishop shows mercy to Jean Valjean, and he could have made him go back to jail for the rest of his life, but instead shows mercy to him. And just as the bishop showed mercy to Jean Valjean, God showed mercy to us by sending his son as a perfect sacrifice for our sin. And he redeemed us through that. And then we just have to accept the gift of salvation. And I just thought it was really interesting how a story that, just seems like a good movie could really just reflect the gospel, and it just has so much intertwined through it that can show the gospel. So I thought that was pretty interesting.